Yeah, good evening, guys. Today we will see the explanation of the simple program. That is, the program contains three input fields at where we need to enter our name, our marks in subject 1, and our marks in subject 2. And it is going to display our name with total number of marks by adding those marks which we have given. We will see each and everything from line by line. Initially, I have written hash include stdio.h. stdio.h is a header file which contains printf and scanf functions which we have used here. Including these printf and scanf functions, there exist so many functions along with printf and scanf inside the header file, that is stdio.h file. When we compile our program, it is going to compile the entire code which is present in stdio.h file, so that it will take some time. It is something like a time taking process and also memory consumption process. So better to include whatever you require. If you don't require anything, don't include here. So instead of writing these stdio.h files, we can include only printf and scanf functionalities to make the printf and scanf functionalities to be worked. If you do not include these are predefined functions. If you do not declare these functions, these printf and scanf functions will not work. So without including printf and scanf functions explicitly, we will run it once. To run before running, we need to compile the program. So go to execute and compile. Here it is showing zero errors and zero warnings. Now we can go ahead to run. Here it is asking three input fields. First one is the string, second one is the marks, and ultimately it is going to print the name with total marks as so and so marks by adding those number of marks. Now instead of importing the complete module, that is stdio.h, we will include only the requirements which we want. So in this program, we want only two functions. That is, the first one is printf and the second one is scanf. Only these two functions we have used repeatedly in this program. So we will import only those functions. Let us see where exactly the header file is existed. We'll open that and we will get those printf and scanf functions. To get that, simply go to your Windows C drive, and then if you are using a Turbo C, you open Turbo C, or if you are using Dev C++, you can use that. Right now, I have used Turbo C3. So I will go to Turbo C3 and I will go to includes folder. Here, here inside the includes folder, I can able to fetch stdio.header file is existed here. When I click on this, it has been opened in my application. So here I need to find where exactly that printf function has been declared. Let us check around. Or else if you want to search, you can just simply enter Control F and write whatever you want, printf function. So it will show all those here. Here is our function. In line number 158, if you see, this is our printf function declaration inside stdio.h file. We can copy this and we can paste the statement inside our program. And along with printf, we want scanf also, right? Here is our scanf statement. Copy it and paste it in our program. Now we don't require this stdio.h, so comment this once, or else if you want to remove, you can remove it. Now save it. Now we need to compile. Yeah, here if we execute, that is if we compile, we have thrown some errors, right? That is something like expected so and so colons and asm or attribute. Why the what exactly that error represents is, here we are using dev C++ as an IDE, that is integrated development environment. but we have copied these two statements from Turbo C++. So they have written these two which are compatible to that environment. Now we are using different IDE, so there will be minor changes required. In Turbo C++ or Turbo C, they have used these keywords to represent that. Now we just simply remove these two and we will save it and we will compile once again so that we can overcome the error. Now it is showing zero errors and zero warnings. Now we will run and we will see whether the output is perfectly getting without using a standard stdio.h file. Okay, and this is perfectly without using stdio.h, and also the time it is consuming is very less than compared to stdio.h. We will see that practically right over here. H. If I include this header file, if I save, if I execute, if I compile, it takes around 0.36 seconds for compilation, and also to run we use function F11. It is going to take around 5.44 seconds, the execution process and all. But if we use only these two functions, which only we require, it is going to save almost all of the time of us. It is something different it is showing. Now we will execute and this will promptly work. And this is all about the declaration and importing what are the required functions that we want in our program. And the next one is main. This is the main function. Why we have written only main function is whenever the program has been executed, it is going to execute in line by line. So it will go to first line. There is nothing in the first line. Come to second line. It will print. I mean, it will execute this. It is something like a declaration of printf, and it is going to the third line. It is going to check. It is scan of declaration, and it will go to fourth line. There is nothing in fourth line. It will go to fifth line. Here it is checking. Here it is going to find out there is a main function. So it need to start execution from the next line of the main function. Whatever the thing it is going to execute from the next line of main function, that is inside the main function, whatever the program we write, that is what we will execute, that is what we will get as output or input, whatever it would be. So whatever the functions we write out of main function, like for example if I include int demo function out of the main, and I will write whatever I want to write, like let us write a printf to show printf. This is a demo function. If I write like this, even it is not going to execute because it is in out of the function. We will save it and we will compile and execute. For the compilation, we can use F9. It is showing no errors. For the execution to run, we can enter F10. Here it is directly asking enter your name. That means it has directly arranged to this line. It has directly reached to the 11th line. It is asking enter your name. That means it has skipped the 4 5 6 lines. Let us check the output. That is what the output. Earlier also we have seen the same output. Now we have included extra function. Even there is no use if I use multiple number of functions like this. Even if I use 100 functions except the main function, there is no use of including those functions. And even after the main function also, if I include 100 number of functions, there is no use except memory consumption. So I will run and execute. It is showing previous definition of demo. Yeah, here it is going to ask the unique function name. Even if it is a unique function name, it won't consider to execute. Let's write this. We'll save and we will compile. It is showing no errors. Oh, just a second. Function F11. Still it is asking my name. and marks and everything. Still the same output even if I included a lot of functions here. So that means how many number of functions if I include is not a matter. What the matter is, if main function is present in our program is matters. Whatever we write the program in main function is matters. So that is what the importance of main function. Why I have used int here is, here I want to declare my main function as integer data type. That means I want to return an integer type of data. That's why I have used integer. So for that case I have used return 0 at the end. I mean, I want to return an integer, that's why I kept return 0. Even if I kept return 1, that would be fine. Just see, compile, no errors, run, the same it will act. There is not at all any difference. Even if I kept 1, even instead of 1, even if I kept something 500 also, there is no difference. Execute and compile. It's going to ask me the same. This answer is 70. Yeah. Why we have used only 0 is, instead of using 1, 2, 3 and all, 0 represents 0 errors, like program executed successfully. Think in that way. And instead of giving a random number, 0 will be the whole, that is the starting number, that is a whole number which we have used the starting of the numbers. That's why they kept a 0 when they are in the development stage. And I mean, if I use the integer type of my function, then I have to return an integer. That's why I kept return 0. If I remove this return 0, even though it will work, but it will throw some warning symbols like so. No, it has not been shown. It is perfectly alright. In some cases it will throw some warning errors like return type has not declared, like so it will work in some cases. Compile. As of now it is showing no errors. So better to show the return type whenever you have used integer type of data type to your function. And if I use void, it don't require a return type, because of void means void does not return anything. Void will not return anything. So even if I use a void function, if I write a return 0, that will throw some warning messages. I will show by compiling. It is showing something. Just a second. Place function F9. It is going to show us some warning message. Even with the warning message also it will run properly. We can accept the warning messages and we can run our program. And idea is 90, that has been worked out perfectly. So if we are using a void method to our function, we will emit I mean we will remove return type. If we are using a integer type of our function, we must need to include return type. So we will go ahead with void main. Now if I compile, it is showing no errors. If I run, still it is showing a perfect output. And 30 is a perfect output. Now let us come to the program internal logic. Initially I have declared three variables of integer type. The first one variable is subject 1, second one is subject 2, third one is total. Instead of this, even I can able to declare individually, like this. int, like this also I can declare. But I'm declaring the same type of data. That's why I have kept at a single line. That is a good code readability. um Here I have used integer type of data to declare my variables. That means whatever the data that I'm going to store inside these variables should be of type int. And the character type, I have used one more variable named as that is array variable. Here I have used because of I want to store my name over there. That means whatever the characters that I have entered should be stored in one variable. If I want to store multiple variables, I have to use character array. So that's why I used a char data type. So I have used an array contains 40 length. That means yeah, 40 length. it can store up to 40, up to 39 characters. If I did not declare this, it is going to store a single character because I have declared as char. So I have used a character variable with a length with a size of 40 characters to be allowed here. And then the printf function is the main. If I did not declare this function, it will throw an error if I use printf function. What is the exact use case of printf function is to print something in the console. Like when we execute our program, it will print something initially in the console that will be achieved by using printf function. That is what the use of printf function here. And the return type of the printf function is a string, that is something like a character array. And here I can able to print a static text, or else I can able to print a variable contains a data. And if I want to show something to the user, I can use printf. Or if I want to get something from the user, then I need to use a scanf function. And coming to the syntax of the printf function, just we need to write the printf, and then we need to open parenthesis, and here we need to write the parameters of the function. Here I have used only one parameter in my printf function. Yeah, printf function can contains n number of parameters as it has been specified here. The three dot represents infinite. We can use the infinite number of parameters to printf function, but in in such a meaningful manner. Like infinite parameters means here I have specified one string as a single parameter. Like if I use another string as another parameter like this, if I write like this won't work. This won't work because multiple giving multiple parameters in the sense we need to specify multiple format specifiers inside the printf function in the first parameter. It is the first parameter, right? Inside the first string, we need to specify the format specifiers. If we specify the format specifiers, then we can write a multiple number of parameters. We can give multiple parameters to the printf function. Let us see whether it will work or not. It will definitely won't work. That means here I have written enter your name, and along with that SDVSV something I have written, but it won't displaying here because of I have not kept any format specifier here. So instead of this, if I write something like format specifier begins with percentile, if I write a percentile yes, and I will save and I'll execute, yeah, I will compile, then I will run. Now we will see it is working. Why it is coming in new line is I have used a percentile n here. N is an escape operator. Um, it gives the data which is present after percentile n to the new line. If I remove this, if I save and run again, oh, it is throwing some error. Redundant exit status. Yeah, it is already been executed. So control S and try to execute again. Yeah, it has already present in the console. That's why it has shown an error. Now if we see, it is working perfectly. Now we'll close this and let us try to give some other parameters. Percentile S, percentile D, percentile S. Here I have specified few more parameters. Let us clarify this. Here I have specified 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 format specifiers. So I can give 5 parameters here. So here I have given already one parameter. So is it not a third one? First parameter. This is the second parameter. This is the first parameter. And the third parameter we have given as percentile D. Percentile D represents integer type. So we need to give, sorry, we need to give the integer here. and fourth one also percentile d, that means integer type. The fifth one is again string type. So now we will save and we will execute. Oh, auto execute, auto compiled. Now we will see the output is going to show as first parameter, second parameter, 3, 4 and fifth. In the same way, how many number of parameters we give over there, it will be executed perfectly, it will work perfectly. So as of now we don't require anything. I hope it is understandable to everyone. I will put simple n. Why I kept a slash n is, as I said earlier, that is escape character to go to the new line. I want to get the input from the user in the next line, not in the same line where the string has been displayed as enter your name. That's why I have kept slash n. So that is what the history of printf function. And coming to the scanf function, the syntax of the scanf function is, it is also same something like a printf function, but here it contains a minimum of two required parameters. As we have seen, is something like the format specifier is a must and should, and we need to store that format specifier at some location. First we will see this sort of scanf function and we will go to this one. This is a very minor difference it contains. Here I have kept a percentile d in the first parameter. Percentile d is something like the thing which is starting with percentile is a format specifier. Over there we are going to specify what type of format that string is. So here I want to take the marks of the subject, so that's why I have used a percentile d as a format specifier. Marks should be, marks must and should be in the form of integer type only. That's why I have used a percentile d. Percentile d represents integer type. Then I want to store, scanf means use it to get the input from the user. Printf means use it to show the input to the user. Scanf means use it to get input from the user. From the user. That's why if a user is typing something, we need to validate that whether he is typing a character or he is typing a number. If he is typing a number, we need to specify the format specifier as percentile d because of it's an integer. So I need to store that. I have declared my variable already at the top, that is a sub1, subject 1. Here I have used that. That is same as usual what we have used in printf function. In printf function, what we seen is, here I just need to declare a format specifier and then I put comma and I will write whatever I want to write here. That would be worked perfectly. Um, slash, yeah, slash and okay. In the same way, in scanf function, we have specified a format specifier here, and we have just given a variable at where we need to store the data which has been given by the user. I want to store this data, that is subject one marks, inside my sub1 variable. What exactly is a variable? Variable is something like a container, data container, at where we can store our data, at where we can store our data. Let us assume we have given a subject one as a variable name. That means with this name, some memory will be allocated. Some memory will be allocated in our storage, in our hard disk, in our soft disk, whatever we are using. Creation of variable in the sense we are going to reserve some space in the memory using a name which we kept in which we kept as a variable name. That is what a variable is. And coming to what is a data type. Data type means the name itself. We need to specify which type of data we are going to store in that variable. Before creating a variable, before creating a function, before creating something, we need to specify the variable type. That is something like a data type. Inside that variable or inside that function, what type of data we need to store. We need to intimate that before creating that. Because of if we intimate that before creating, so it will reserve some space in the memory based upon the data type that which we have given. For integer, the range of integer is, oh, that is something like a 2 bytes. It is a 2 byte. No, it is 4 bytes, I think. Yeah, the range is, just a second. Yeah, sorry. The integer type is, the size of integer is 4 bytes. Integer contains different variants like short int or long int. The size of short int is 2 bytes, and size of long int is 8 bytes, and size of normal int is 4 bytes. 4 byte means 4 8s are 32 bits. It can able to store at most 32 bits based upon the size which has been declared internally in C language, C compiler. It will allocate a space according to our requirement. And that's why we need to declare a type of data before creating a variable or before creating a function. So where we are now, we are here, and here inside the scanf function is used to get the input from the user and store it somewhere. Here I have created some variable to store our data. So I have specified the format specifier as percentile d, because I want to store the integer type of data. That's why I have created my variable as integer data type, and I'm going to get the data type into this sub1 variable, that is some space which I have reserved in the memory named as sub1. I want to store at that location. Why I have kept a percentile is, it is acts as a address locator. Ampersand represents address of. It is going to readable as percentile d comma address of sub1. In general times, in general terminologies, before telling some location, some address to someone, we are going to specify the name of the address, and we are going to tell them the path of the address, that is address of Tirupati, address of Hyderabad, like so we will convey them. In that way we need to declare ampersand. If we declare ampersand, get it is going to get the path at where that reserved location has been allocated. So in that variable, in that memory location, it will be stored. That is what the use of ampersand. Why I said earlier that I'm going to explain this statement first initially, then I will go to the statement is, this is something is contains a minor differences, that is here I have used ampersand, here I have not used ampersand, here I have not used ampersand. Why? Because here I want to store the integer type of data, that means my variable type is integer, but here I want to store the name of the student. The name of the student contains characters, that means it is string, it is a collection of characters. So if I want to store the collection of characters, I want to create a collection, I mean character data type. But if I use character data type, it can able to store only a single character. I want to store multiple characters. I'm going to think maximum, the maximum characters of a student name contains at most of 40 characters. That's why I have created a character array. Here I am just giving the name of that array inside my scanf function. As usually, I have used a format specifier here, percentile s. I want to store as a string. You might raise a doubt why you have not used percentile d, because you have used a character here, right? If I use percentile c, it will store only one character. That's why I have kept percentile s as a format specifier. So along with that, I'm going to give the location, that is variable name as name. But I have not declared the percentile here. Even it will work if I give percentile here, but it might raise some some issues, some unwanted exceptions, because here I have created array named as name, that is something like a character array. Whenever we are working with arrays, we need to fill the array from one end, and that is from the starting array index. The array index value is starting from 0 here, we need to fill from 0. Whenever we are done with filling 0th array, then when we will go to the 1th array, then the 2, and the third one, and fourth one. In that way, we will go. So, if I give ampersand here, it will give the complete location. It will give the complete location of the array. If we get the complete location, then I will start randomly in that array. That means the data will not be. I mean, if I write like this, I have not restricted that my data should be stored from the 0th index. It might be start storing from 10th index. Here I have specified 39 indices. That is 40 means 0 to 39. It might start from 20th indices. It might start from 50 indices. I mean, sorry, 34th indices. Whatever it could be, it can store in a random manner that might raise some vulnerabilities. So if we write like this without specifying ampersand, it will definitely start from 0th index. So the data will be stored from 0th index. That is what the reason why I have not used ampersand here. So this is what this is what something about scanf. Scanf contains a maximum of two parameters only, because of we can able to give only one input type at a time, input field at a time. If I kept multiple format specifiers here, and if I write something differently which we have written earlier, that might throw some errors. Save and compile. Okay, it's working. And just see whether it is working or not. It has been stopped. It has been terminated its execution. In the compilation, it shows no errors and no warnings. But in the execution, when we run the program, it is not going to the 12th line. 12th line contains we need to display enter subject 1 marks. But it is not displayed enter subject 1 marks as a string here. When I enter the first thing, that is when I'm done with the 10th line, it has been terminated. It has been terminated because of it has been confused at where this has been stored. So we will restrict with a a dual parameter. First parameter must contain format specifier, and second parameter must contain the address, that is variable or array, wherever you want to store. Yeah, that is what the history of scanf. And in the same way, I have used three printfs. For the first printf, I want to take the name, so that's why I have used the string format specifier, and I have stored that inside a character array, that is name. And next one, I want to take input as number, that is the subject one marks of the student. So I have used a printf statement to give the hint to the user, like enter subject one marks. Then they will enter the subject one marks, whether it is 100, 200, or something, whatever it could be, and it will be stored inside sub one variable. And in the same way, I have taken subject two marks also, and then I have added these two variables, that is subject one and subject two. To add, I have used addition sum operator, that is plus. This is a gender terminology. We use plus to sum, but in the form of in the context of strings, the plus acts as a concatenation operator. When I'm done with adding these two numbers, I have stored in some variables. Even without storing in a variable, I can run directly, but that is not recommended to perform operations on open data. So when I'm done with operation, I have stored in a variable, and I want to print the variable as the total marks is so and so to so and so person. So ultimately, I have written one final printf statements at where percentile yes, apostrophe s, total marks is percentile d slash n. What this represents is, here I have used two format specifiers, percentile s and percentile d. So I need to write two more parameters inside the printf function. Here I have specified for percentile S and percentile D as two format specifiers. So I need to include two more parameters here. How exactly it will work is, here I want to print in such a way like, if I enter my name Venkat Krishna and marks is 10 and 10, I want to print as Venkat Krishna's marks is 10 plus 10 or 20. In that way I need to print. That's why I have used percentile S format specifier. I want to print the data which has been stored in the variable name, and I want to display the total I have stored inside variable total, which I have declared at the top integer type. So I have used a percentile yes, and I have fulfilled that by declaring a parameter here name parameter contains a name, and percentile d total contains another parameter that is in variable total. That's how it will work. We have already seen the output. I want to run this once again. Function F11 is 99. Yeah, that is working perfectly all right. Now let us do some changes over here. So I want to print in different way like my name is Venkat Krishna. That is Venkat Krishna contains 40 marks in subject 1 and 30 marks in subject 2, and the total is so on. So in that way I need to print. So how can I able to modify that? Initially I want to print my name, so that I have used a format specifier here that will be fulfilled by the name parameter here, and Venkat Krishna yes, he has achieved so and so marks in subject subject 1 and so and so marks in subject 2. Then total marks is so and so subjects. So here I have declared one, two, three, four access, four format specifiers. So I need to fulfill those format specifier. But remember, while fulfilling the format specifiers, while declaring the parameters, you need to come in an order. Come in an order. Initially, I have specified percentile yes. What my intention here? I want to print my name. So I have used percentile yes. So my first parameter should be the name array. And next one, here I have achieved percentile d marks in subject one. So my intention is to keep subject one marks over here. So my second parameter should be subject one. Then subject percentile marks in subject one and percentile d marks in subject two. My intention is to keep percentile. I mean subject two marks, which how much I have achieved in subject two, so that I have used subject sub two parameter as a third parameter, and the last one the total marks. Total I have stored in total parameter. It is total variable. That's how it will work. Let us save it and let us compile it. No errors and no warnings. Execute it. 99, 99. Venkat Krishna achieved 99 marks in subject 1 and 99 marks in subject 2, and the total marks is 198. Let us see by giving different inputs. Function F11 to run and execute at a time. Kamal. Let us see Kamal. And the subject 1 contains 98. Subject 2 contains 100 marks. We will see Kamal achieved 98 marks in subject 1 and 100 marks in subject 2. Total marks is 198. That's how it is working. And we'll keep track of the bugs here. So okay, here we have declared subject 1 as a data type int, right? We will see what is the range of int range is language. Int range, it is showing like 2147483 is like Like, yeah, we'll see that. Without comma, we'll take this is the maximum range, and if we keep minus one, sorry, plus one and keep minus, that is the minimum range. We need to specify in that range only. We will see what will happen if I specify by overcoming that range. We'll print it once. Okay. Let's, get something. Here, enter subject marks. Here I can enter 100, 1000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakhs, whatever I can enter. But what is the limit? The limit here is it is the maximum number that I can give. Let me show you something. And this is the maximum number that I can give. And if I enter, what is the output that I'm getting? Here actually I need to add those numbers, right? But I'm getting the minus 2 as an output. How exactly it is working is the range. Let me example. Notepad. The range of int. The range of int is minus 2147484648 to this one. 214 crore 74 lakh 83,648 to 214 crore 74 lakhs 83,647. But I have entered this one in the first parameter, that is in the first variable, and again I have entered the first one in this one, that is in the second variable. How it will going to calculate is it is going to calculate the first one. Initially it will take this one and this one, and when it try to add, when it try to add, it will add in such a way like after this number what will come, this will come, right? But this number is not acceptable, that is 214 crore 74 lakhs 83,648 is not acceptable because the range is going to be exceeded. So what it will take is, instead of this, it is going to write something like minus this. It is going to the loop again. If I add plus 1 to this number, if I add plus 1 to the maximum number, that is 214 crore and 74 lakh 83,647, if I add plus 1 to this, this won't, this is not the number which we are getting. Instead of this, it is going to loop, that is, it is going to the first, that is the starting range of the integer is minus 214 crore 74 lakhs 83,648. It will go to this one, sorry, not this one. In that way, if I enter plus 2 to this, it is going to print 87. It is going to decrease. And if I add plus 3 to this, it is going to decrease to this. And in the same way, if I add this number to this number, it is decreased to almost minus 2. That's why we got minus 2. We'll work out with one more example to show something new. Here I have kept the maximum number, and in the next input I want to add this one. We will see what exactly we have discussed here. If we add plus 1, we have got the first one. This is what we have discussed here, right? So if we add plus 3, we are going to get it 7 6 5, or else not to plus 2. If we have got 48, see 47. We will see whether we are going to get that output or not. Run. Sorry. See, and then and a plus 2. What we got? Oh, What exactly we got? We have got, yeah, it has been reduced to -2. That is approximately it is going to do like so. So that is how it will work. That means whenever this has been exceeded, whenever the terminology that is the range of this particular integer has been exceeded, it is coming to loop back again. That is when we cross to the limit of the integer data type range, it will go to the starting range again. Like so it will work. So we will see why exactly it came. Instead of 2, if I give sorry, 10, oh yeah, we have given directly the 48 number. That is already we have exceeded the number. If I give this one, this is the maximum limit, right? So here I have added 2. Now this is perfect. Earlier I have given 2,414 crore 74 lakh 83,648. I have given earlier. Now I have given the maximum number, that is 647 at the end. If I add plus 2 to this, it is going to give us 214 minus 214 crore 74 lakh 83,647. If we add plus 3 to this, it is going to decrease to 6. We will see. Function f10, some demo random name. Here I have given maximum value and a plus 3. It is going to give to minus 214 crore 74,000 74 lakh 83,646. That's how it will work. And that is what the range, that is what happening, this is what will happen internally, whatever we have given that. I hope it is clear to everyone. Yeah, that is what the agenda of this program. Thank you for watching.